Welcome to Citizen Concerned, where we remind you to beware of the comrades. I'm Katlego and would appreciate it if you subscribed to our YouTube channel, liked and shared this video with other citizens. We don't need to see our high school or university students doing this kind of nonsense.
Students are trying to get in.
We are fighting for your kids and you're pushing me off my campus.
That was where students aligned to the EFF Student Command had been protesting this morning, blocking off the entrance, sitting on in front of the entrance, not allowing cars to come in and out.
We don't want to see the stupidity that the ANC and the EFF have been putting into our young people.
These are criminals. Registered students. We are fighting for your kids.
Stupid little children who have no clear idea what life is about.
This is the deadlock we've been speaking about. The Wits University is saying now they won't open the door. So Wits likes killing people. In 2021, someone died because of Wits' arrogance. So right now, Wits is saying they'd rather be a stampede, they'd rather be someone being injured other than them opening.
Immature 19 and 20-year-olds shouting, "Viva, comrades, viva!"
At one of the gates and forced their way. The situation extremely dangerous right now as more stones are being thrown. Take a look at these live pictures from Wits University.
Drama students and political sciences majors telling us about decolonization of education and shouting amandla for nonsense.
This as students have vowed to continue with the protest action. This is where the security services were. But we must apologize to sensitive viewers.
South Africa is home to millions of brilliant minds ready to tackle the challenges our nation faces. Yet too often, the spotlight falls on those who stir division without offering real solutions. It's time to shift our focus to the innovators and the problem solvers who are making a difference. We need young people like these ones.
Computer science students at Stellenbosch University claim to have uncovered a big web of fraud in the administration of SASSA's Social Relief of Distress grant during their investigation into vulnerabilities in government-run systems. The students say they discovered an alarming number of unexplained applications and payments, even finding that their own ID numbers had been used. I did ask during the break if I could let the nation know your ages, and both these guys are 19 years old, able to find security breaches that are far-reaching in the SASSA grant system.
Imagine that, huh? 19-year-old computer science students finding the rot in the ANC's work. Students who have not even graduated yet. In fact, who are still in their first year of university. These are the young people who, when they leave university, should be given opportunities to enter the government departments, building our websites and checking to make sure our systems are working well. If I hear that these young people and others like them are being paid 50,000 Rand per month with these kinds of minds, I will be happy. Instead, we have people like Naledi Chirwa and a bunch of these Zuma children running around shouting rubbish when they have no clue what is what. Do you remember the video I made regarding Home Affairs? Do you remember how our Home Affairs has allowed a company from Dubai/India to collect hundreds of millions, if not billions, from foreigners seeking to enter South Africa? Do you remember how pathetic that website was? The company is VFS, if you have forgotten. Now imagine if we had these kinds of young men and women in our government. Imagine if these were the minds that were being hired by the government. All that money going to Dubai and India through VFS would be coming to South Africa. A lot of the inefficiencies that have plagued government departments and consequently citizens would have been a non-existent thing.
Two first-year computer science students at Stellenbosch University, Joel Cedras and Veer Gosai, claim to have uncovered massive fraud in the social relief of distress grant that's administered by the South African Social Security Agency, SASSA. Now, fraudsters are alleged to use unsuspecting citizens' identity numbers in order to apply for the SRD grant, and they then receive the funds in bank accounts that they've set up using the same ID numbers. Now, this fraud is said to involve tens of thousands of fraudulent social relief of distress grant applications.
Do you realize that these are young people that have not even held corporate jobs? They have not gained much experience, and yet here they are showing the adults that, hey, you are sleeping on the job, all while acting very busy. SASSA has been a joke for the longest time. Over and over again, we are told about how the SASSA system has been looted and the ANC dinosaurs are just sitting there. They basically have no clue what is going on. The ministers are too stupid and too old school. We have political leaders talking about, let's change the constitution, let's take the land, when what we want is a country in the hands of the brightest minds we have, because that will ensure high efficiencies, identification of problems and solutions, decreased waste and loss, and an improved economy which will benefit all citizens. It is the brightest minds that will ensure that South Africa competes with first world countries instead of competing with Djibouti on who has the highest unemployment rate.
Secondly, are going to present to Parliament next week sometime. It was announced on the website.
Well, we cannot wait to see you guys present your research to Parliament.
When these young men graduate, they will easily name this achievement, and I'm pretty sure that they will be given great jobs on the spot. When they graduate, they will already have jobs lined up for them in the private sector, not only because of this achievement, but because what they are studying is a skill that is in high demand even now. South Africa has these kinds of talents, but the ANC has allowed for these kinds of individuals to leave the country. In other countries like China or Singapore, these young chaps would have been taken up into government jobs with high salaries because China and Singapore do not want to lose their talented minds. The smart people in those countries are highly sought after by the governments. And it makes sense. Government should be a place for the best of the best among us, because what happens there affects every single one of us, whether positively or negatively.
In recent years, more and more fresh graduates from top universities and first-class majors and graduates returning from overseas have joined the CSE hype. A Peking University report shows that more than 75% of Peking University graduates entered the system in 2019, and in 2015, this ratio was about 50%. But it's not that easy to get a job in the system. The highest level in the system are civil servants. If you want to become a civil servant, you have to take the CSE. The first step is to pass a strict qualification review. In addition to the basic requirements such as being younger than 35, a bachelor's degree or above, and a local household registration, many positions require that applicants must be members of the Communist Party. In addition, CSE applicants have to pass a strict political review. Not only are religious beliefs not accepted, but even if the applicant's immediate or close relatives are engaged in activities that endanger China's security at home or abroad, if the applicant cannot draw clear boundaries with them, they will fail the political review.
You see how tough it is to join the government there? Do you see the high standard they have set for themselves and each other? Now look at our beloved country. Look at the people that end up in the government making decisions that affect all of us.
Members of MKP are not allowed to be members of another political party, except organization and formal alliances with the MKP. So, save for exceptional and strategic circumstances approved by the officials. So the case and the situation of our president and Commander General President is a strategic and circumstance. He retains the dual membership, and it's allowed as per the Constitution of Mkhonto Wesizwe.
What is your current role? Because I don't want to like misquote it in terms of you at the MK party. Okay. Are you the president in waiting or do you just work there?
You can call me Madam President.
There you go. I knew it. You heard it here, boss.
She's the boss. She's the boss.
She's in charge. No, because I've been around you guys, and like when you're around the whole squad,
sure,
Tutuzile is the boss. Like she kind of makes the calls. You know, like when you ask for anything, they're like, "Let me check with Tutuzile."
Sure.
I'm like.
But to answer your question, yes. I think my father is obviously the head and I'm the neck.
Sure.
Yeah.
Give me the edge. You can do it, boss.
I sit in the core. I sit in the national core.
Sure. Yes. So you do exist there in some official capacity,
yes,
not just sort of to help your dad.
Not dad's business.
Yeah. No, I do. I'm there.
Yeah.
I vote with the other comrades. We make decisions. We debate. So yes. I'm part.
Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether members want to play politics. Firstly, people every day say something about President Zuma in this country. Should I stand every day, take everybody to court? You say a lot of things about me. Should I do so? If I were
you
to
can
do
take
so,
me to court. You can, no,
he's answering
this is
you,
not your house.
Honorable Malema.
This is not your
Honorable Malema,
house. This is
not your turn. Honorable Malema.
Point
of order. Honorable
Everyone
Malema.
speaks here. This is our house.
No, Honorable Malema, you
can
have
take
your
action
question.
against me. You can take action against me.
I don't take actions against people like yourself, generally. I don't do it.
Are you guys kidding me? These buffoons are the ones you think will save this country. Really? We have young people capable of reaching the heights of Hendrik van der Bijl among us. We have people able to reach the heights of Elon Musk among us. Now imagine if those people end up running the government. What a dream, guys. What a dream. And you know what? This dream can become a reality. South Africa can stop being a country run by the worst of us. Loud mouths, empty heads, good for nothing but causing fights and infighting.
So this started with me, and I tried to apply in February, and I found that I'd already had an application open.
Even though he's a 19-year-old in university who has never ever applied for the SASSA grant, it turns out that SASSA already had him on their records as a person that has applied for SASSA, even though he hadn't. Next, his friend tried to apply too.
And then about 2-3 weeks ago, I was speaking to Veer about this, and we then discovered that he also has an application open. And then we kind of took it from there and sort of dug in a bit and found quite a lot of things.
Yeah, and quite a lot of things, meaning, so you guys had never applied for the 370 Rand grant, but when you tried, you found that your applications were already there. Veer, give me what the next step was, because I believe that then you spoke to quite a few other students at Stellenbosch University.
What are the odds of that? Guys, come on. The clowns are in charge. Lord help us. The clowns are in charge. And you know what? It gets worse.
So what was very interesting was our SASSA grants weren't on our phone numbers. They were registered to completely fraudsters' phone numbers, and we didn't know what they were. So to see if this was a widespread problem, we did a on-survey campus where we asked about 60 people, and we managed to test their ID numbers. And what we found out was over 56 of them had active SASSA applications that they had no knowledge of. And this was an alarmingly high rate, which led us to do further testing.
Wait, so you spoke to 60 people at your campus, and 56 of them had applications on SASSA's portal that they knew nothing about. I mean, that's alarming. Then you obviously went...
Out of 60 people, guys, 60 random people, and 56 of those 60 people turned out to have been victims of the same crimes. What are the odds of such happening? And did you notice something here? The same issue we spoke about last week comes back again. Fraudulent cell numbers. ANC, along with their weak RICA laws and the network service providers, MTN, Vodacom, SASSA, Telkom, are allowing criminals to destroy this country. This is a problem that the ANC has sat with. MTN, Vodacom, SASSA, all of them are chilling there while identity theft keeps happening, while pre-RICA SIM cards are being distributed all over the country. So now, even if they try to find out who the SASSA fraudsters are, you'll find that the cell phone numbers used will have been RICA'd using your grandmother's ID or even your ID. The clowns have been in charge. And again, it still gets worse. Still.
If we can do this publicly, and we were able to test 700 ID numbers a minute, which was too high of a rate for us to like, right? We think when you have no rates on a single device, no IP address limits, then what actually happens is that fraudsters are just able to create maybe 100 applications in one day. And this was a very concerning issue that obviously we want to take to SASSA and we want to work with them in this matter.
Imagine that. I'm no expert, but I know that there are apps that won't allow you to log in or work or access different profiles from the same machine. Systems like SASSA should be able to pick up when the same IP address or the same computer keeps accessing different SASSA accounts. I mean, am I asking for too much here? And what did SASSA have to say about this embarrassing issue, you may be wondering? Take a listen.
Last night, my colleague Thabo Mdluli had a discussion with Paseka Letsatsi, who's the spokesperson of SASSA, and when asked about some of the research that you guys have done, this is what he had to say. Listen to this.
To appeal as well to the students who discovered this, that they would have reached to us so that we can then be able to explain. But
They should have reached out to us so that we can explain. What? Explain what? What do you have to explain?
Maybe the unfortunate part in this is that that Joe did not necessarily reach out to SASSA to discuss this with us prior to going public. This is not this story has been in the media.
You should have asked first. And this type of attitude is exactly why we have so much corruption in this country. They want us to ask first so that they can give silly excuses like these. Adults are outshined by children, first-year students. No matter how much you love the ANC, you cannot deny it. Most of these adults are sleeping on the job. For real. The ANC has no clue what to do, guys. Listen to this response.
But the biggest concern we had is we did reach out to SASSA. We reached out as normal customers. We phoned the telephone lines. Most of them do not work already, which was shocking to find out. And the national hotline didn't seem to help us. We were told specific things, 2 weeks ago that our issue would be dealt with and that it would be resolved within a turnaround time of a few days. But my friend Joel Cedris and my partner in this is still currently waiting for a response from SASSA. His SASSA grant that he called about 2 weeks ago has not been resolved. His ID number is still being fraudulently used on a fraudulent phone number.
It keeps getting worse and worse, doesn't it? The phones at these SASSA entities do not work, so if you have a complaint, a suggestion, or if you want to report fraud anonymously, there'll be no phone ringing, and if it does ring, there'll be no one answering. Guys, the ANC clowns are too much. They're just too much. I mean, what type of business does not pick up phone calls or has non-working phone numbers? It's insane. But that is what the Zuma years and the Ramaphosa years have given us. Laziness and incompetence. If we as citizens can go and get ourselves cell phones and even landlines, what stops a well-funded government from having a working phone number? You want to know why I say the clowns are in charge? Well, this was a few years ago, and this lady was the head of IT and digital at SARS. I think we can all agree that SARS requires a lot of experts, proper experts in the digital space. But listen to this clown.
Now, it could cost up to 1 billion rand to fix the South African Revenue Service's IT infrastructure. And this follows the halt to the SARS modernization program that ended abruptly in 2014. And this, of course, after suspended Commissioner Tom Moyane took over at the Revenue Service. So to clarify this matter and also to give you and I a better understanding of what all of this actually means, I'm joined from our Pretoria studios now by SARS Chief Officer for Digital and IT, Mamete Makeke Mokwane. Is e-filing on the verge of collapse or not?
Definitely not. Let me explain. Currently, e-filing and the forms are using Adobe, okay? Now, Adobe is getting out of support in 2020. We are trying to move all our, what you'd see on your paper forms, we want to put it on a digital platform and using HTML5 as an example. So nothing is going to go down, except the fact that, of course, as a taxpayer, when you want to use our systems, you see a warning that says, are you sure? And that scares taxpayers. And I can go on about the fact that outsourcing so far has been about cleaning services and security people, which are black people. I would want to insource those people at the moment because their children would benefit from a SARS bursary system.
But talking about the IT restructuring.
Ma'am, can you give me protection from yourself?
But we're talking IT restructuring.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let me just ask you a final question then. A final question is, what is your assessment right now as you and I are speaking about the state of SARS's IT infrastructure?
Okay. The SARS IT infrastructure has aged. Most of it is about to be end of life and out of support.
All right,
so
we'll leave it there.
What we are saying is to request that we get the necessary support in terms of resources, financially, human resources, and so on and so forth.
This woman was at SARS during the time of Tom Moyane, the Zuma commissioner, Nhlamulo Ndlela's uncle. The clowns have been in charge, guys. They have been in charge, and the results are proof of that. Well done to these teenagers for reminding us that the clowns are running the show. We are not safe, guys. SASSA needs to get serious. Actually, the entire government needs to get serious.
We don't believe SASSA is able to keep, we don't believe SASSA is able to handle the influx of users. And it's very problematic then to say we should not cancel the system when Joel's current SASSA grant and my active SASSA grant are still not registered on my own phone number. You cannot have a system in place which only verifies name, surname, and ID number in order to open up an application.
I couldn't have said it better. The entire system needs to be redone. There are hundreds of thousands of people that get that SASSA money, which is being used by the ANC as a tool to get votes. But guess what? Many of those SASSA grants that President Cyril Ramaphosa has been bragging about are actually going to fraudulent recipients. They are criminals getting social grants. Who knew? Thank you, Jewel and Vier. Please keep it up. We need people like you running our government departments. Hopefully, that dream comes true. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please join the channel membership or donate to the account details in the description below. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.